Hi guys, this is App Unwrapper. I'm here with the rec on iOS and I'm going to give it a try. Enjoy!
Je te le jure, tu as ma parole. Je te dis la vérité. Je t'explique ce qui s'est passé. Dis-moi, je ne suis pas si conne. Tu es comme moi. Je te dis la vérité. J'en suis bien fâchée. Je te le jure, tu as ma parole. Je te dis la vérité. Je t'explique ce qui s'est passé. Dis-moi, je ne suis pas si conne. Tu es comme moi. Je te dis
I have a confession. I love crappy romantic comedies. Yeah, it's a cliché. I can't help it. I love them. All those movies have that scene, you know? The girl is at her wit's end. She's been crying her eyes out, her makeup is running, she looks like a zombie. She's done. Which is when Ryan Gosling knocks on her door to coax her out.
Miss,
Ah, shit. That sounds nothing like Ryan Gosling. See, this is the problem with my life in a nutshell. It's not romantic, and it's certainly not a comedy. All right, where am I? What happened? Oh yeah, the hospital. I felt woozy, and then really, really hot. And I guess that I fainted? Ah, well, dropped to the restroom floor like a sack of potatoes. No better place for a nap.
are you okay, miss?
Oh, shit, the doctor. And that's putting it mildly. I'll be alright, though.
Are you sure?
Aha, as if I could be sure of anything. Still, I should probably update my guardian angel. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe there's something I know for sure. If I have to spend one more second lying on this filthy floor, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to vomit. Vomit again, I guess. I'm just a little nauseous is all. I just had a little bit of a moment. A big moment. But it's over now. Sorry, I ducked out. I'm already feeling much, much better. I can hardly tell her the truth, can I? Most people don't actually want you to be honest with them. Oh, I apologize, Dr. Giagana. I just vomited up my breakfast. I had it all over my chin. It wasn't a good look. It's hardly my fault. I haven't been handling stress very well lately. Come to think of it, isn't it her fault? She just had to go and tell me that my mom's in intensive care. I'm sure, that is her job. But I gotta tell you, that's a lousy job. Really, really lousy. I'll be out in just a second. Those weren't here before. Do you think they have any idea where they are?
I'm sure this comes as a shock, but it is crucial that you understand the situation. Your mom had a brain aneurysm. Do you know what that means?
Mom. Funny. I could never get myself to call her mom. She's always been Marie to me. As I understand it, it's a weakened artery wall?
Correct. And that artery ruptured, which caused a hemorrhage. It is a serious situation. We need to prepare for whatever happens next, very quickly indeed.
I've watched enough Grey's Anatomy to know that this is not good. Serious? What can I do?
Anything related to medical care will be my team's responsibility. But you are her trusted advocate.
I'm
so
sorry,
you should be
her what
aware.
now?
Do you not remember? This is the reason we called you. We have your name and your number, which means that you signed the release.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
And since she is not able to express her will, it falls to you to speak on her behalf. But I presume you discussed that when you went through the process. So you must know that there are a number of options to consider.
I don't believe it! She put my name on the form without asking me. She must have forged my signature. It's hardly a surprise. She's always done that kind of stuff. But I'm not making any important decisions. I've had my share of this kind of responsibility, and it didn't turn out well. However, my dear mother doesn't seem to understand. Of course, Jan will have her say, and if we disagree, all hell will break loose. Pitting us against one another at a time like this, that's exactly what my mother would do. I feel trapped, like a fish in a barrel. Oh, come to think of it, I would love that. A 30-second memory, and not a care in the world. Fear me, sharks, for I am the terror of the oceans. That reminds me of the nickname I got during swim class in middle school. Sea Hag. Haters, all of them.
I'm sorry, Miss Fortin.
Demange. I went back to my maiden name.
I'm sorry, that wasn't in your file. Listen, I understand that this is all very sudden, but we don't have a lot of time. We need to focus.
We do indeed. Why do you think I'm here?
Let me be clear, miss. I'm not your enemy. I'm just the on-call physician. So we can work together to help your mother, or we can wait 7 hours, 22 minutes, and 17 seconds. And then I can go home, and you can pick up the conversation with Dr. Zorzin instead. But I should warn you, Zorzin is an old coot.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. Okay. I guess I deserve that one.
It's okay. I understand. It's not an easy situation. Our major concern right now is the hemorrhage is spreading. There's the risk of a cerebral vasospasm. That is a complication which could severely affect her brain.
Is she going to die?
We're doing our best to make sure that doesn't happen. But there could be long-term consequences. This sort of event severely impacts the body, and mental functions may also be impaired. I need to know if you and your mother will be able to deal with that sort of complication.
Holy fucking shit. I'm not ready for this. No, it can't be. What do you mean?
To be completely frank, if we're able to pull your mother through this, there's only a small chance she'll be like she was before.
Small? How small?
Smaller than that. In all probability, she will never be quite the same. Some people would prefer not to keep living under such circumstances. That rather their medical care were geared more around letting go as gracefully as possible. What I need to know is, what would your mother want?
I don't know how to answer that. Last time she told me she wanted something, it was... To be in MoMA.
Excuse me?
MoMA? The museum in New York.
Miss Demange, Wait, your mother's that Marie Demange? The artist?
Ah, there it is. Works every time. Once people figure out who Marie is, snap! Their whole demeanor changes. They feel like they know her somehow. Of course, they're completely wrong. Oh, she takes them in with her dog and pony show, but there's a world of difference between who she is in public and in private. And if this doctor knew Marie, the real her, she would realize how ridiculous her question is. I think you're out of your mind.
Excuse me?
Your question! How am I supposed to decide whether my mom lives or dies?
That's not exactly. You're not.
Not a doctor? You're right. You should be making this decision, not me. I'm sorry, I gotta go. I know what she'd say. That I'm running away again. What did she expect? That I just show up and what? Decide whether she lives or she dies? I don't even know how I'm supposed to make it to the end of the day, let alone... I remember. Diane and I found an injured bird in the backyard. It was tiny. I think it was around the time Marie had set up her new studio in the sunroom. Now that I think of it, that was also my first experience with death. In fact, I also had a really weird dream that night. Something about that day always seemed off. I never figured out why. And why am I thinking about this now? Yeah, Diane was so proud of packing her own suitcase. Her father came to pick her up that afternoon. She spent the weekend with him and her stepsister. I was a bit jealous, but also happy to have some time with my mother, just us. Marie told us she'd take care of the bird, so we went back to playing. I never saw it again, and when I asked what happened, she said it just flew away. I was so relieved. The nest was high up in the tree, but the wind blew it down. The bird was obviously young. It was a big fall. It must have been badly hurt. I didn't realize it at the time. Back then, Marie wasn't very well known, but she was hardworking. She had just started a series on birds, actually. They were all over the house. She considered them a symbol. A postmodern symbol of anti-anthropic levity. Classic Marie. think I saw a big shadow moving down the hallway that night. I imagined a monster bird was visiting us. For a long time, I thought it was just a strange dream. Do you recognize it? This is the mobile that Marie made me before I was born. It's exquisite and delicate. I loved it. And you did too. I think I still have it in a box somewhere.
Wait. I'm going through it again? Oh.
Now I know for certain that someone was in the backyard that night. And since Diane was at her father's, it must have been Marie. What was she doing out there? Maybe... Marie was always quite passionate about birds. So I suggested we keep this one as a pet once it got better. I could already imagine it. A beautiful cage tucked in the corner of the studio. She got so mad. At the time, I didn't understand why she reacted like that. But now... Maybe Marie killed the bird. That's what she was doing out there in the middle of the night, burying it in secret. And it might sound strange, but I also understand why she did it.
What?
Marie is really an astonishing person, you know? She's usually hard, but also... she could be vulnerable, sometimes. She couldn't stand seeing the bird injured. She knew it would never recover. It was too weak. I remember she said, "Not being able to fly, that's no life for a bird." She thought it would be better off dead. She could have just abandoned it, let things run their course. But I don't think she did. I think she killed it with her own hands. It sounds cruel, doesn't it? But that's just Marie. That's her outlook on life. She's all or nothing.
What I need to know is, what would your mother want?
I'm not ducking out. Not this time. After all, isn't this what Marie wanted? I think... My legs are shaking. Maybe I'm having another turn. I think I need a sugary drink.
Understood.
Do you need anything?
Well, I need more coffee. But if I drink another one, my stomach's going to declare war on the rest of me.
I just can't speak on my mom's behalf. One thing's for sure, she's a radical. She's all or nothing, all the time.
I understand. It's hard to contemplate the idea of living with a disability.
It's not that, not at all. If we were talking about me or someone else, I would say it's gonna be fine. You adapt. People do it all the time. They have to. Life's too important. I would say that. She wouldn't. I'm not sure that answers your question.
She certainly comes across as rather forthright.
You don't say.
I've seen her on TV a couple of times. My father loves her. She's an extraordinary artist. In her interviews, she's so impressive, fierce even. It must be quite something to be the daughter of someone so talented.
I've heard this one before. That's a polite way to say, it can't be easy to have a nutcase for a mother. Yes, it's quite an experience. Doctor, do we know why? Why this happened? We were just having dinner last night. She was fine.
There could be a lot of factors. Family history, hypertension, alcohol consumption.
I did have a pretty severe hangover this morning.
Even past trauma, like a historic head injury. It's hard to say right now.
Ah,
All right, Miss Demange, I'll give you time to think. Let's speak again in about 2 hours, if that works for you.
sounds good. Can I see her?
Yes, of course. Let me find out her room number.
I know what I have to do, what I should do. It wasn't that long ago that I could write this kind of scene without breaking a sweat. I step into the room, there'll be tubes everywhere, beeping sounds. The audience will know that it's serious. Then I start bawling my eyes out. I collapse on my mom's bed, pouring out snot from my nose. Or maybe I'll be dignified, stony-faced, standing quietly in the corner. Close up on my face. They'll see I'm suffering. Deep inside, a single tear rolls down my cheek. That's exactly how it will happen. Or what should happen. There's just one problem. I really must. She probably needs me. I don't know why, but I can't open that door. It's always stressful to share an elevator with a stranger. Still, it could be worse. Hey, June. I could have to share it with my sister. Okay, I'm kidding. We love each other. Love giving each other a hard time. Okay, I love giving her a hard time. For instance. Hey, Didi-Doo. Nothing?
I haven't eaten yet. My blood sugar's low, okay? Come with me to the cafeteria.
Okay.
But if you utter that stupid nickname one more time, I'll strangle you.
There it is. She had me worried for a sec.
This food looks nasty.
Did you notice? Jan loves being in charge. She wasn't always like that. It started when she was a teenager. Some people get acne. She got authority.
So, how's work?
Scheduling, phone calls, spreadsheets. It's mind-numbing. There's no time to think. That's why I love it so much.
How's your script coming along?
I never should have told her about it. I guess I had a moment of weakness. I thought she would worry less about me if she knew I was working on something creative. But why did I even think she was worrying about it in the first place? She doesn't seem worried now. Better change the subject. And how are you?
Well, since you ask,
So easy.
I was doing good until yesterday. One of my idiot patients up and groped my ass.
She's a physical therapist, working with professional athletes. She spends her days massaging pretty boys with 2 brain cells and 0 self-control. She's the best in her field, I've heard. All the major soccer clubs are fighting over her. Probably because she has her own story. She almost became a tennis pro at 17 years old. She was really strong. And then there was some kerfuffle, I don't know what happened, but the league didn't have her back, so she just gave it all up. I've never seen her so angry. Though today's a close second. I wonder what happened to that guy who was stupid enough to grope her. What happened?
I handled it with poise, aplomb, and composure. Anyway, he has a broken hand now. Good thing he plays soccer, not volleyball.
The worst part is, she's not joking.
In other news, this place is so stressful. Everyone's way too nice.
It is a hospital, Jan.
I know. They should be scowling 24/7. So, how is she?
I haven't been to see her yet.
What are you waiting for? A singing telegram? Sorry, that was uncalled for. This whole situation, it's just a lot.
Yeah? Sounds like there's something else. Something else bothering you?
No, nothing else.
Wanna bet that there's something else?
Well, I guess, I did meet with the doctor this morning. She told me about your deal. Between Mom and you. And, to be honest, I was shocked. Were you going to tell me at some point?
Ugh, see? I knew that this whole trusted advocate thing would never fly. The only question is, will she believe me when I tell her I didn't know? Given the state she's in, I wouldn't bet on it. Look, I'm sure you're upset.
Of course I'm upset. We just found out that Mom might die. Does that mean nothing to you?
It does. Of course it does. But it's okay. I'm handling it. You know, I'm perfectly capable of making this decision. Just leave it to me this time.
What's going on, June?
I'm sorry?
Something's wrong.
Could be the grapefruit. I read somewhere that it's really toxic. And,
No, it's not the grapefruit. I don't recognize you. You're different.
Ooh, she wants to talk. Seriously. That's just her way to cope with stress. She needs to dissect things to understand them. And she needs to understand things in order to control them. So, what's the play? Idiot or goldfish? Maybe if I say nothing, she'll leave me alone?
And don't pretend you can't hear me.
I guess I can't get out of this one.
You're acting like some kind of robot. You're all closed off. And you clearly aren't considering how I feel about all this.
What's the game here? Where's the Jen I know? She's got some nerve lecturing me as though nothing happened. I'm not gonna lie, she's not entirely wrong. I haven't exactly been brimming over with empathy recently. It's not my fault, you know, it just makes it easier to get through the day. For me, at least. I'm not sure how anyone else manages. Okay, maybe I am a little bit distant, but have you thought about my situation?
See? That's exactly the problem. And, okay, this is going to make me sound like a huge asshole yet again, but I'm used to that. I've been meaning to talk to you about this, so why not do it now? We're here for Mom, and you can see how hard this is on me. And yet, here we are, yet again, talking about you. What happened to you was awful. It really was. Absolutely horrible. But that was 5 years ago.
It can't be 5 years. It can't be 5 years. It can't be 5 years. It was only yesterday. Why the hell is she bringing this up, anyway? Where are you going with this?
I don't really know. I guess I'm a little worried about you. I don't understand what goes on in your head, and that scares me. Why are you like this?
Really? She's worried about me? You had to go there, didn't you? You really, you can't help yourself. Whenever you can't control something, you just hate it, don't you? And so, pow, you attack.
You're wrong, June. I'm just trying to help. You can't really tell me that everything's fine, can you?
Do you think that throwing my little problems back in my face is going to help? Oh, wonderful, wow. Oh, it's a miracle, I'm cured. Thanks for the therapy session, but I really have to go. Obviously, you can handle everything just fine on your own, so go ahead and take care of Marie.
Wait, June! Don't leave, please! I'm sorry. I really need you. I really am a dumbass.
She really is a dumbass. Should I be honest? Do I have to? I just grabbed the first opportunity to put up a stink so I could get the hell out of there. Of course I'm weird. And I can see how that might freak her out. She wasn't telling me that because she cares. That was her lashing out to hurt me. You know, Astrid, memory is weird. You suddenly remember these moments, without knowing why. For instance, one day, I visited a fishery. This was a year or two ago. I was writing the script for a promotional documentary about lobsters, a freelance gig for the Agricultural Chamber of Brittany. Truly the crowning moment of my career. Although for real, I loved writing it. It felt good. Going outside, meeting people. And lobsters are fascinating animals. Shall I tell you what I remember? Everyone loves lobsters. Their exquisite and delicate flesh is prized by the finest gourmets. With a little garlic butter, lemon or mayonnaise, they're delicious. They're on every great chef's menu. Lobsters are a symbol of wealth and luxury. Lobsters are a mystery to science because they don't age. Their cells replace themselves perfectly, which allows them to never stop growing throughout their lives. Lobsters have a chitinous exoskeleton, a durable and tensile material that protects them fully. This natural barrier is so strong that lobsters have no natural predators. In short, no one can mess with lobsters. Except humans, of course. Female lobsters may lay over 100,000 eggs in their lifetime. They keep each clutch underneath their tails for several months. And when the eggs finally hatch, out come a profusion of larvae just a few millimeters long. Can you imagine? Over 100,000 tiny little astrites. That was the official line, the one I got paid to write, but I dug deeper. You can call me a lot of things, but I'm nothing if not conscientious. I learned a lot about lobsters that the Agricultural Council wouldn't have approved of. Ugly truths we'd rather hide. Everyone loves lobsters. But to truly love them, first you have to cook them. And to cook them, you have to kill them. There are two ways, traditional or modern. The modern way is to stick a sharp knife into their head. But since their nervous system is distributed through ganglia that run down their back, destroying the brain doesn't kill them. Not immediately. They'll spend a long time in agony. Lobsters don't want to die. But the people who love them don't care about that.
All right.
Lobsters don't age. But after a while, their shells do. And if they can't make a new one, their current shell will wear out. It will split. Bacteria, fungi, and other diseases might seep in through these cracks. And then the lobster will rot from the inside. Lobsters have a chitinous exoskeleton. But sometimes they feel trapped in it, so they molt. They leave their shells behind and expose themselves. Until their skin hardens again, the world is full of predators. Carnivorous fish, other arthropods, and humans, of course. Because when they've just molted, when they're soft, lobsters are their tenderest and their tastiest. Female lobsters may lay over 100,000 eggs in their lifetime, but few will reach adulthood. The larvae will be gobbled up by passing wildlife. The young ones will be poisoned by water pollution. Their livers filled with heavy metals and microplastics. And those who grow big enough will be plucked out of the sea by humans to end up on a fishmonger's stall. All this to say, being fake? Writing pretty lies? That doesn't bother me. Between my clerical work for Marie and those PR gigs, I learned to tune it out. No one wants to know what's in my head, but maybe you do? Everyone loves lobsters, and that love is what's killing them. If no one loved them, we'd let lobsters live happily at the cold bottom of the ocean. Lobsters don't need to be loved. Me neither, to be honest. Lobsters don't age. In fact, they could never die at all. If they just stayed in their holes, they'd never get sick. They'd never get harvested or trapped. Unfortunately, lobsters grow. Maybe that's the big difference between them and me. Lobsters have a chitinous exoskeleton that limits their growth. As soon as they shed it, they're in danger. Their enemies notice their weakness. They can smell it, like sharks smell blood. If they can reach a weakened lobster, they'll devour it. They'll tear it apart and feast on its flesh. I don't want to be eaten. Female lobsters may lay over 100,000 eggs in their lifetime, and they'll never watch them grow up. You might think that the sea is salty from all the tears shed by lobster mothers, but they don't cry. What good would all that sorrow do? You know, Astrid, memory is weird. You suddenly remember these moments without knowing why. Until you realize it's trying to teach you something crucial. That day, I learned that I needed to be stronger than a lobster, to never molt, to never get eaten, to just hide in my hole, to never cry. That's the only way that I could keep on living after you died, my little fawn. I don't want anything. I don't expect anything. I feel nothing.
Why are you like this?
She's right. I have been weird lately. Honestly, I'm glad she noticed. You're right.
I am? Because I was starting to think that I was just being a dumbass.
Oh, you're totally a dumbass. You can't just bring up Astrid's death out of the blue and throw it in my face. But you are right. With her gone, something inside me is broken. I just don't feel anything. Everything just slides off me. I'm Teflon. Sealed off. Like a damn lobster.
A lobster?
And you're right. It's been 5 years already. But I'm still trying to figure out how the hell I'm meant to reconnect with my life.
I understand. I mean, I know I can't understand, but I think I get it. Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't think so. Well, you can keep on beating up idiots, but that's more of a public service than for me specifically.
I will. You know, I admire you.
Sure you do.
You've always been the sensitive one.
That's classic Marie right there. I'm sensitive. By which he means weak. Not strong enough for the world. Obviously I pale in comparison to the formidable Diane.
Yep, that's me. So fragile.
That's not what I mean. Mom raised us to bite before we get bitten. That was the only way out she could see. And I guess I took her literally. But you weren't like that. You knew how to listen. You got people. You were less scared of them. I always loved that about you.
That's new. What the hell do I say to that? That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah, right. Knock it off. I don't know why it's so difficult for us to just talk. Maybe this is why Mom chose you.
And we're back.
Are you bitter right now?
Certainly not.
Certainly.
No. I mean...
You are bitter. You're pouting. Look at your fucking face.
Enough, okay? Stop it. This isn't the time. I just don't get it.
What is there to get? You know Marie. She's unpredictable.
Wait, you mean you didn't know?
Well, you should see what my signature looks like on the form.
She's the worst. Why would she do that?
I have no idea. I guess she thought it made sense since I handled the rest of her paperwork. Unless she thought I was a perfect fit since I'm a Libra with Pisces rising or whatever.
All right, but still, it's a big responsibility. And it's a bit weird to ask you, of all people, to make that decision.
What am I supposed to do? Scream in the middle of the hospital cafeteria? That's not my style. Although, the way this day is going, it might become my style.
You can be pretty clumsy. You can't cook a meal without setting the house on fire.
Et voilà! I'm never going to live that down, am I?
Depends. Have you figured out a safe way to brown-baked Alaska yet?
Whatever. This isn't the time to rehash all that.
Really, I don't get it. This is so important. Why would she trust you over me?
All right, I've had enough. You know what? You're right. Only an idiot would trust me.
Ah, come on.
Yeah, here it comes. You're the reliable one, aren't you? The one people can always count on.
What are you talking about?
Ugh, I'm out of here. I'd probably just trip over her ventilator or something. Wouldn't want that to happen now, would we?
You're being ridiculous, you know. Please, sit down. I didn't mean to upset you.
Oh, you didn't? Well, you got that wrong. Well, that was embarrassing, wasn't it? I just can't help it. So Mom wrote my name instead of hers on a worthless paper. What does it matter? Dan and I are stuck in this stupid competition. I hate it, but I feel I can't escape it.
Would it be weird to take a break here? I don't know how to pause the game. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna take a break here. So that's The Wreck. Heavy stuff. I'll be back with more. Check it out. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Bye-bye.